as you can see from today's title, I have decided that I'm going to try my hand at reading the series that kind of kick-started the world of young adult literature.
It's the series that millions of teenage girls have been rolled over.
What series am I talking about, you may ask? I'm talking about Twilight. I decided I might as well give it a try and find out if it's actually any good, if it's trash. I'm kind of prepared for anything at this point. Even though I really just want to make fun of Twilight this whole video, I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to be attempting, keyword is attempt, to try to read the first Twilight book in 24 hours. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I've been in the biggest reading slump of my life. I haven't read a book in at least a month. That sounds really horrible saying out loud. I've just been really uninspired, and I figured, why not go back to the book that started it all? Other than Harry Potter, Twilight probably had the most influence on the world of young adult literature, and I feel like this will be a really interesting experience. Hey y'all, so it's officially the next day. My reading adventure of Twilight officially starts right now. So, wish me luck. I guess we'll just see how this goes together. I can't believe I'm doing this, but here goes nothing. Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Oh, that's cool. It has trees in the background. I didn't even see that at first. Here is our table of contents. Ooh, it starts out with a Bible verse, which is interesting. Genesis 2:17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. So I've heard that this verse is a metaphor for Edward being the forbidden fruit that Bella obviously shouldn't eat from because
I'm pretty sure that it's not really normal to have a boyfriend who's a vampire. I mean, it's kind of dangerous if you think about it.
So it starts off with the preface, which is kind of interesting, I guess. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Story time with Michael, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and read this preface out loud. I never gave much thought to how I would die. Though I'd had reason enough in the last few months, but even if I had, I would not have imagined it like this. I stared without breathing across the long room, into the dark eyes of the hunter, and he looked pleasantly back at me. Surely it was a good way to die, in the place of someone else, someone I loved, noble even. That ought to count for something. I knew that if I'd never gone to the Forks, I wouldn't be facing death now. But terrified as I was, I couldn't bring myself to regret the decision. When life offers you a dream so far beyond any of your expectations, it's not reasonable to grieve when it comes to an end. The hunter smiled in a friendly way as he sauntered forward to kill me? Okay, so I'm guessing the hunter is a vampire, obviously. I'm guessing that it might be Edward, maybe? I don't know. That was an interesting start. I'm gonna go ahead and read the first chapter now, and then I'll let you know what I think of it. Okay, so I read the first chapter, but I couldn't really concentrate at my house. If I stayed there any longer, I was probably gonna fall asleep. So I've decided that I'm going to go to a local coffee shop so that hopefully I can concentrate some more, get some coffee, and hopefully get further into this book, because I've only read one chapter today and it's just not going as well as I hoped. So far in chapter 1, we've met our protagonist, Bella Swan. Her parents are divorced, so she's staying with her dad in this town called the Forks for a little bit. Chapter 1 is all about her first day of school, and so we run into Edward, who's acting like a freak. Whoa. I don't really know what Edward's deal is. I mean, he and Bella haven't even spoken at all, and he's glaring at her and acting like he hates her for no reason. This kid's a creep. I don't understand what's going on right now. Okay, so update. I got through the first 5 chapters, and the chapters are actually pretty long. I think 12 chapters is halfway through the book, so hopefully I should finish half of it pretty soon. And so far it's actually not too bad. I haven't seen any of the Twilight movies, but from what I've gathered so far in comparison, Book Edward seems a lot more funny and lighthearted than Edward in the movie. movie. So far, Bella seems to think he's like some superhero and has like these abilities that he's keeping secret. She doesn't know that he's a vampire yet, which I'm interested to see how that goes down. So yeah, that's kind of my update for now. Hi everybody. So I have been reading pretty much all day today.
And I'm not even halfway through the book right now.
I'm like 2 chapters from being almost halfway through, but it's been going pretty slow. I finally know who Jacob is. When we meet him, he tells Bella that there's this family legend that supposedly he and his family were descended from wolves, and the Cullen family's ancestors were called the Cold Ones, aka vampires. Right now, Bella is obviously getting a little bit suspicious about what Edward could be. So far, he's already saved her life like 3 times. I just finished reading the part where they go to Port Angeles, I think, and Bella is like surrounded by a bunch of creepy guys, and Edward ends up saving her again. I still have so much of this book to read that I don't think I'm gonna finish by 12 o'clock tonight. Technically, I didn't actually start reading it till like 1 o'clock today, so like maybe I'll give myself to 1 o'clock tomorrow to finish it. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break to have some dinner now, so I'll see you guys later. Ugh, I'm so sorry for my face right now, but anyway, it's like nighttime if you can't tell. I just finished reading the forest scene where Edward shows Bella what the sunlight does to him. Personally, for me, I think the book describes him as way too perfect. The book is kind of stupid, but it's kind of good in its own fun sort of way. So it's currently about 11 o'clock right now, and so far I am on page 312 of 498. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna finish in 1 hour. Actually, I know that I'm not gonna finish this book tonight, but I did my best. I guess we'll just see how much I can read by 12. And I'm gonna finish the rest tomorrow. I'm literally so tired though, but I'm just gonna keep reading. I'm really tired and I can't really keep my eyes open anymore. I think now would be a good time to call it quits. I feel like not too much is happening right now, and I really want to see some more conflict. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know. So, I did it. I finished reading Twilight in 24 hours. I finished it the next morning, so I'm recording this a day later, actually. So, let me give you my thoughts. So, the book started off pretty good. It really wasn't horrible, but then as I slowly read more and more, I realized I really don't understand what all the hype was about with this book, or the movies, or the franchise in general. Edward is just not that great. It's kind of weird that he's like, what, 109 years old, and he falls in love with Bella, who's like 17 years old, and then there's that little problem that like he kind of wants to like
Drink her blood?
And so every time he's around her, he's always having to fight off his vampire instincts. And there's a very high possibility that every time Bella is around him, that she could end up as Edward's next snack. But stupid Bella is not at all fazed by any of this. And I don't understand. All in all, it's just not a very good book. Out of 5 stars, I would only give this book 2 stars. Even though middle school me really thought that I was missing out on this franchise, if I could, I would go back and tell my 8th grade self that, hey, you're really not missing out on anything. I mean, there are so many other great YA books now to read. Thank the Lord for that. I mean, have these girls obsessed with Edward Cullen ever heard of, I don't know, Dorian from Throne of Glass, or Cale Westfall, or Elias Viturius, or Nikolai Landstov?
Or the freaking Darkling.
There are so many other great book boyfriends besides Edward and Jacob. Overall, this experience was very interesting. I'm definitely not going to continue these books. I'm probably not going to watch the movies either. If you absolutely must have a story about vampires, then check out Vampire Diaries instead, because that's honestly 100% so much better than Twilight. Like, Twilight doesn't even compare. So anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking that button down below. It only takes 2 seconds and it literally helps me out so much. Also, all my social media is linked down below and you can go and check that out. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you soon with another video.